How's things in Arizona?
Good, good. We've had, well, at least in
Mm,
Southern Arizona, we've had a lot of rain and monsoon activity, which has been nice.
mm.
Phoenix, I think, is probably just hot.
Yeah, yeah, I hear
How
you.
are things in San Francisco?
Good, good, good. It's been beautiful weather. We've had great weather all summer long, which is unusual. Usually it's foggy, and now is the best time. September, October, great weather. We got Fleet Week coming up. The Blue Angels will be all around the bay, so it's cool. It's good. Things are good right now in the city, for sure.
Fleet Week, huh? So I experienced that in Baltimore. Is that where all the ships come into the harbor?
Yeah, yeah, it's a really a big deal. In terms isn't exactly as I would say displays patriotism like a lot of other big American cities, but I say it always makes it up on Fleet Week because there's a lot going on. A lot of military is here.
That's cool. Good, good, good,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's good, but yeah, shop is busy. Things are always humming. Just got a lot of things going on. It's good.
good. All right. Well, I'm going to start with an intro, and then
Okay,
we'll
cool.
just talk for a bit. I won't take too much of your time.
Yeah, yeah. Just just be us, be friends. That's all.
Having fun. Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek here with Seth Chandler at Witter Coin in San Francisco, California. Seth, thanks for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Ben. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. It's been a little bit. We got to catch up on a couple things. Like, how was Witter University this summer?
Oh, Witter University, thanks for having me. Great. It was about 40 students, all between the ages of 14 and 20 years old from around the world, really. And we had an intense, 8-day coin extravaganza. We taught kids everything from coin grading, coin authentication to, all the various opportunities available in the coin business, how to research coins. We had two amazing field trips. First one was we had two big like Greyhound style buses, took them up to gold country, went up to James Marshall Discovery Park in Sutter's Mill, where gold was discovered, what started the whole gold rush. We actually toured a gold mine, and we went to an old gold rush town by the name of Placerville. So that was a blast. And then, luckily, we were able to score an invite to the current San Francisco Mint that makes all of our proof coins. So it
That's
was
so
really a
cool.
lot of fun. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see all those coins being made. It was awesome. It was very awesome. Yeah.
Is is the San Francisco Mint generally closed to the public?
Mm. Uh, it's always been closed to the public. The first mint, the very first one, that was an operation from 1854 to 1872. Is currently a museum. You can actually visit that. The next one, the Old Granite Lady, 1873-ish to 1938. There's every now and there's some events there and things like that, but lately, no, not at all. But the current one, it's by invite only. You just gotta, usually through your local congressperson.
There you go. So,
Yeah.
so the San Francisco Mint is on its third iteration.
It's the city, it's the city of three mints. I say where that we produce some of the greatest coins. Not only are they the most classic coins that we all know, like the SVDB and the 93S Morgan dollar, but also some of the rarest ones, like the 1870S $3 gold coin that just sold for $3-4 million.
Yeah.
A few months ago.
Did you have to bid
So
a
it's
lot
cool.
to get that one?
Yeah, I didn't quite buy it. Yeah, I didn't quite buy it.
I was
Yeah,
I was the under bidder,
yeah,
under,
yeah, hmm
well under. That's
yeah.
cool.
That's
So,
great.
I don't think a lot of people realize that there were 3 San Francisco mints, and so you could
Uh-huh.
really write, just about the rarity from the different mints and, like, which mint was actually producing which coins, and it's
hmm
probably a really big deal for the kids to be there and actually see, hey, there's something to the fact that all the mints from this era were at this location.
hmm
First location is a museum still, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then another time period, they were all minted here. And so sometimes if you're not from the area, and even as someone who's collected coins forever, I never really think about the fact that the mint was like not just one place. It was here and then it was here and then it was here. And I think
Right.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. They're all separated by about maybe it's a mile. They're all still relatively close, but you look at the current mid, it's a monster. It looks like a huge castle. It looks like Fort Knox. It's on its own little mini mountain within a neighborhood. Beautiful Victorian homes around it, but there it is, billions of dollars. I'm sure with the gold and silver and platinum in there, and they're just making coins. But I'll tell you this: the number one thing. This is actually my second tour of the mint. I learned two big things that stood out. Number one, coins are made by hand. I don't care how much machinery, German coin presses you have. There's eyeballs on those coins watching them being made. Quality control is really intense. And the second thing is the people that are making our coinage are very passionate about making coins, for sure. It's not just a job. They're not just hitting buttons and counting. They're passionate. They're really into it, which is nice to see in person.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'd like to see that sometime. It's kind of a, how I can watch almost any show that talks about how something is made, but
yeah,
especially in coins, that would be just kind of a fun. I'm gonna have to get there sometime. So
yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
maybe next time. Now you've got a new thing coming out called WitterBrick. What is WitterBrick? Tell me about this.
WitterBrick. All right. So you've seen a little like releases or just news articles about it?
So I'm on Instagram a little
Uh-huh.
bit, and
Sure.
so I think I saw Sasquatch. Are you familiar with the people that are making your Instagram account? Because I'm pretty
I
sure
have
I also
no
saw
idea what you're
Bigfoot.
talking about. Yeah.
I, I think I saw Bigfoot. So yeah, I saw a bunch of different stuff there, and then I'm trying to remember where else I saw it. And I've had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, do you know what's going on with WitterBrick?" So I'm like, "Oh,
Sure.
well, let me find out."
Okay. Cool. So here you go. So you know, I've always felt that the coin hobby needs to do more to bring in newer collectors and kind of make things a little bit exciting. And I've always paid attention to what happens with the card market, whether it's modern cards or vintage cards. And they are very, very creative. They are very creative at getting people involved. And whether it's good, bad, or ugly, they do things I think that are different, that are innovative. And I'm like, you know what? The coin hobbies get a little bit more like cards, I think, to bring in new people. Because forever, up until a couple years ago, you know how it was. You go to a coin show, it was nothing but like old men. It was getting bad. And now I think with COVID, and I think there's been a resurgence of hobbies. You go to any coin show, you'll see dozens and dozens of youngsters out there collecting coins. It's awesome to see. So I think just carrying on with that, I've seen, a few people come out with these box style approaches, like a pack rip, like with cards. And I think people, especially on Whatnot, have been asking us for really more than a year to say, you guys should come out with one, you guys should come out with something like this. And I'm like, nah, we're too busy. It's not really for me. But as I started to see how popular it was and how it was bringing people in the hobby and people were just having a good time, I'm thinking, okay, if we were going to do it, how would we do it? And so we probably interviewed well over 100 collectors and people that were involved in, the unpacking of whether it's cards or coins. And I learned a few things and I decided to come out with WitterBrick. So we've been working on it for about a year. It's really simple what it is. Each WitterBrick, there's three different price levels. There's $375, there's $1,000, and there's a $5,000 box. $5,000 is crazy, right? It's not me, it's what the people wanted. So we came up with a $5,000 box. And in there is a minimum of three coins in every single box. I think one of the most important components to WitterBrick is, you always read these stories that somebody spends $1,000 on some box, they open it up and they have $100 coin. We did not want that to happen. So every WitterBrick, no matter which price level you buy, you get at least 70% in Gray Sheet's CPG valuation. So you kind of know your downside. So you're not going to get a $100 coin if you buy one of the $1,000 WitterBricks. You're going to get at least three coins that are worth at least 70%. Now, on the other side of that, we have some amazing, amazing home run chase coins. The most expensive coin in a WitterBrick is a high relief by CACG MS64. It's a $45,000 coin. We got tons of coins that are worth, two, four, five, $10,000. So I think that's what makes it really interesting is the variety. You have the 70% of minimal value. The second thing is it's mostly vintage coins. It's probably about 25% modern, the whole offering. Because I collect vintage, I'm passionate about vintage. And there's a lot of neat denominations that I think for the newer collector really gets excited about. Half cents, 2 cent pieces, 3 cent silvers, 20 cent pieces, a lot of real cool early type. There's a 1795 flowing hair half dollar, our nation's first half dollar in VF20. Classic cool stuff. But I've also put a little spin on it in the sense that I've always been very passionate about key day coins. So we're introducing to a lot of the newer collectors the importance of key day coins like the 1909 SVDB, the 1916D dime, the 1885 vehicle. We got dozens of these types of coins in WitterBricks that, we're excited to share with collectors and hope they get involved because that's old school stuff all the way. So I think, there's the variety of it. There's the focus on vintage. You kind of understand your downside. You get to see what you have shots at. It's in a beautiful CAC grading holder with a special label. And it's such a personal project for me is that I looked through probably 20, 25,000 coins to find the 4,000 coins for this. Is that I signed back of the label that says, "Hey, I personally handpicked this coin for your collection. I'm proud of it." We're not just some big corporate entity that just publishes things. We own it. We're excited.
That's
Joe, right now, Pelago, my colleague. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's cool. I was going to ask you about just the quantity to price point because you're doing 4,000 total coins. Is this going to be like the majority of those are going to be in that 375 and then 1,000 and then the 5,000? There's fewer and fewer. Like, how limited is each run? If
Yeah,
you have
it's
numbers.
about 1,000. I don't have concrete numbers off the top of my head. It's about 1,000 boxes, and I think it's almost weighted evenly. I think
Okay.
the $375 box, the $1,000 box are probably three quarters or 80% of the total offering. The rest is the $5,000 boxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty evenly. And one thing I might point out is that we're not we help aggregate the boxes, we help put them together. Then CAC at their headquarters in Virginia Beach are verifying what we say we're going to do, and they're put on obviously a WitterBrick and sealed with a special CAC sticker. So we ultimately know. I don't know what's in the boxes. Don't know at all.
So,
CAC finalizes that.
but everything is CAC graded then.
Yes,
Okay.
CAC grading. Absolutely.
Very
It's
cool.
cool.
And so, okay, tell me about Joe.
So Joe, Joe's been doing a great job. He's working, especially a lot behind the scenes, putting everything together. He's actually at Virginia Beach. It's kind of, I call it, we're triple checking the triple checking, just to make sure everything goes smoothly. Because this is our reputation, this is our name, and we got to make sure that if there's a problem with one box, it's not a good thing. Obviously, we're going to address it and fix it, but we're just excited. We're just really excited for that.
So do you have like a separate website to launch those out of?
Yes, WitterBrick.com. If you go to WitterBrick.com,
WitterBrick.
yeah, WitterBrick.com, that's where you'll see all the updates. In fact, the website's going to be launching a little bit later today with a lot more information, a full list of all the coins that are going to be in all the WitterBricks. So, we'll have it available for sale on WitterBrick.com this Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a portion of the offering. Most of it we have sold out. We worked out arrangements with a lot of, I guess, authorized distributors on Whatnot. They're going to sell a lot of it on Whatnot. But once we sell out what we have on the website, we're trying to give everybody a fair shot. You just first come, first serve. Then we're done with it. And then we're going to let the market dictate what values are and what an unsealed box is worth. So it's out of our hands from that point.
Interesting. So then are you guys aren't doing any of like the buyback stuff or
Oh,
any?
absolutely. We have bids on everything. We would anxiously like
Oh,
to buy back the coins. Yeah. Well, these coins are hard to find. When coins like this, especially vintage type, that's CAC graded, it's very hard to find. So we have public bids everywhere, predominantly on the CDN CoinFlex exchange. It's administered by Graysheet. Yeah, we'll over time we'll post even more bids on our website. But we post a lot of bids for this stuff. Anxiously would like to buy it. But I think a lot of people are just going to collect them. I think they're going to collect them because they're great coins. We'll have a registry set. We have a registry set on our website. Again, it's launching today. So the goal is over time, we're not going to decide if we're going to do a series two till one is done. We want to make sure everybody's happy and that it worked. If we do a series two, we're going to issue coins that will help you build sets. For example, if you want to have a dime type set, you'll have a bust dime, a seated dime, barber dime. You can put together themes like that, or a proof Mercury dime set from 1936 to 1942. Ultimately, the goal would be to have a 144 piece commem set. We're teaching like newer people how to collect coins.
yeah. Well, it's fun. I like I definitely like having different ways to reach out to people in
Yeah,
the marketplace. And it's been shown in the marketplace that there's demand for this style of collecting. Like, so this is cool. And I'm not too surprised that it's a lot of work. Um,
yeah. I mean,
I,
it's
you
three times
you
more
don't
than what
just
you
throw up
think.
a website and then it's done. It's like easy.
Yeah, man, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But it's hard because when you have a high standard, you got to work three times more to really execute. And you got to be paranoid. You got to do the right thing. You look at yourself on the other side of the table. What would you like to receive? And I acknowledge this isn't for every collector. If you're a collector that's trying to buy Pacific coins, this is not for you. Because you don't know exactly what you're getting. In my experience and all the feedback we've had, it's either for new people to coins or newer collectors. And then you have like the other extreme, very, very seasoned and advanced collectors that just want to have some fun and like support us and just have a good time. Buy a WitterBrick and break it out on the dining room table with your grandkids or your children.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting point because we've definitely seen a pretty broad range of reactions to open box type stuff.
Mhm.
So there's always the people that I don't know that I've heard a lot of people with that angle of like I'm going to do this and show my grandkids and have fun with it. And I think that's kind of a fun angle because
Oh yeah.
because the kids are probably into open box something.
Mhm.
There's a chance that they're watching Pokemon or anything else where someone's opening
Sure.
cards. And so
Mhm.
for you to do that in front of them as a father, a grandfather, uncle, whatever, but with coins, I mean that definitely adds a little bit of excitement to it.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I see videos all day long about, kids and their dads ripping over baseball packs, and everything's a home run. It's just the action. It's just the fun of doing it. Again, it's not for everybody. It's just like, that's the beautiful thing about coins. There's a million different ways to approach the hobby. And so there's all these different ways to do it. So we're just introducing one based on what people want us to do. It's not an original idea.
Yeah.
We're just copying what the card
No,
guys do.
you're just going to do it your way.
Yeah, we're gonna do it our way and based on what people want. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So how's the show scene out there traveling around?
Show scene, I would say, overall the market's slower, and I think that trickles down into shows. Definitely, there is a lesser demand for bigger coins. I would say that coins anywhere from like $50 to $5,000 are selling very, very well. Gold's really hot for us, but the show scene, we're actually not going to be attending Long Beach coming up in about a week. We're just so busy here. Our showroom has been, probably the traffic's up 40 to 50% the last 3 or 4 months. Very active here. We got WitterBrick and obviously running pretty active inventory on our website. We're buying a lot of collections, processing. We need to hire, a few more people. We have the second location, so we're pretty busy over here. I mean, the ANA was a very good show for us. It was a lot of fun, but I kind of have a different model. A lot of times I'm not. I don't think I'm a very good coin dealer. I just like to go to a coin show, really, just to see my friends, talk coins, talk about coin business. I like to look at great coins, and if we do some business, we do some business.
That's I think I've got that same problem. Like
Yeah,
I view
about
shows.
people.
Yeah, no, I view shows that
Yeah,
way of just there's guys that for them it's all about making money, and it's
yeah,
like, well, those guys are only going to be happy if the right things happen.
right, right.
And meanwhile, there's more and more dealers that I know that
Mhm.
they're happy at a coin show even if they didn't do enough business. As some of the
Yeah,
younger guys that I meet, they're like, they're not. I don't know how to describe it, but they don't care if they didn't meet the minimum requirement because they're seeing friends and hanging out, and
yeah.
sometimes you don't make all the money back. So
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's always about having fun. But the challenge is us. Yeah, I have a good time, but then after like 2 or 3 days, I'm like, wow, we're missing out a lot. We're really behind back at the office and back at the shop. That's the only downside to it. But in the moment, I love it. I love going to coin shows. But
it's
you can't all the time. You can't go to them all the time.
no, it's like vacation.
Yeah,
you always have extra work when you get back.
yeah. It's like
So
my youngest daughter. You're driving through the city playground. You can't just get out at every playground and go play for a half hour. It's the same thing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So with the market slowing down a little bit, what type of advice do you give to like newer collectors who they haven't really seen a slowdown?
Oh, I think it's an opportunity. I think if you to newer, I'll cover it like advanced collectors. And newer. If you're a more seasoned collector, you're an advanced collector. Stick to your game plan. If you're putting together a set of barber quarters, now's the time to go out there because I think dealers will obviously be more inclined to give discounts on coins. I think there's less buyers for certain types of coins right now. So I think if you do your homework and you get out there, coins are going to be cheaper, and there may be some that are available that there's not as many buyers as there was a year or two for. So you should always be looking at coins. You got to refine your grading eye, know what great coins look like. To newer collectors, just have fun, buy what you like, understand your downside. But again, you're going to be able to find some good deals in this little bit off the market. I think anytime there's a correction in prices, you try to take advantage of it. But just get out there, buy what you like, you do your homework, look at a lot of coins, and I've always advised newer collectors to focus mainly on like hype coins acquire a cool bust half, a cool barber half, or a Stain Liberty quarter. That'll give you a broad perspective of all the coins that are available. Then after you acquire a number of tight ones, maybe he like, hey, you know what? I really like Stain Liberty quarters. Let me build a set. So that's what I would tell people.
Do you have anything in your that's just really always gets you excited when you see it in coins? Like, is there a certain, I don't know, just a certain type of coin that you see and you're like, man, I could look at that all day?
Oh yeah, usually a great Pioneer gold coin, particularly one made in San Francisco. And for your viewers out there, Pioneer gold coins are made by private mentors primarily during the California gold rush, 1849 to 1850s. There was so much gold coming in from gold fields that there wasn't a U.S. mint. I mean, this is the first mint didn't open up until 1854. 6 years after gold was discovered here. So it truly was the Wild West. So you had these reputable banker type folks that would take in all the gold nuggets and gold dust, convert it into coinage, assay it, put it in the coinage, and issue it. And most of it at the time was accepted as currency because you needed, I've heard the old stories like you go, buy a steak dinner, you would have a pinch of gold dust, or a drink was a half a pinch of gold dust. So you needed some coins, it's important. And so when I look at, like, let's say a $50 slug that's made by Augustus Humbert, he was appointed by an act of Congress in 1851 to be the chief U.S. gold assayer for California. And he was authorized those coins, but they're so big, they're so heavy, they're 2.5 ounces of gold. It's just so cool when you think about, how, can you imagine having a pocket with a couple of $50 gold coins banging around? Like, what was that used for?
Was
$50 was a lot of money back then.
was that always for you? Was that always a passion? Like when you started to get into coins, I assume you started as a kid.
Yeah, I
And
started when I was 4, then got serious when I was 10.
there you go. And then even as a kid, do you remember, was it that California gold rush? Was that always like just what you romanticized the most, even back then as a kid?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I actually bought my first Pioneer gold coin. I was when I was like 14, 15 years old. I won a scholarship to the summer seminar at the American Numismatic Association. So I flew out to Colorado Springs, at 14 years old, came back, went again. So Colorado was always kind of in my head. So my first piece of Pioneer gold was an 1861 Pikes Peak, Clark and Gruber, a $10 gold coin, VF35. Still remember it to this day. Unfortunately, I don't have it. And I think at the time it was about just $1,800, probably a $10,000 coin today. But I've always loved Pioneer coins. They're just so much romantic history. They're all about, they scream the American West and just kind of building our country. So I've always loved it. But now, living in California now for 22 years, and there's so many really cool Pioneer issues. Very, very rare stuff.
Yeah. Did you ever get into the Charlotte and Dahlonega kind of
Oh,
gold
sure.
rush scene?
Oh yeah, I have a few pieces myself. As a teenager, I remember I owned a couple as well. But yeah, they're cool. I worked in a coin shop, Edgewood Coin Company in Jacksonville, Florida, where I grew up from the ages of 13 to 18. And so every now and then over the counter, you get like a Dahlonega, Georgia gold coin, something like that. Really cool stuff. And you knew back then that they were special, that they were really rare.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that's one of the things that I love so much about coins in general is that tie into history.
huh.
It's just there no matter what. And some people I think gloss over it, but to me it's kind of like the most important. It's like all the allure. Well, like when you have a colonial, banknote and you're like, okay, like
Mm-hmm.
anyone could have held this thing. Like
It's cool.
anyone, and so some areas, we're lucky that they have like very specific items you can collect. But then there's
Mhm.
tons of parts of the country where you don't have that same very specific tie-in,
Mhm.
coin wise. It's like you can't find something necessarily from the Dakotas or,
Right, right.
maybe Wyoming or something. But there is Pioneer gold from some of the other states, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, like Oregon,
Or
Oregon, Colorado, Utah. There's quite a few places. Mormons were very critical in helping us find gold, or Californians find gold back in 1848. But you got to realize it's especially the western part of the country. There was nobody out here. I mean, Yosemite wasn't discovered by an American outside of the Indian tribes who had inhabited forever. But I think the first explorer was like the 1830s. And think of like all the big American cities on the East Coast. They were thriving, huge industrial city. Yeah, this was just like no man's land out here. You read Theodore Roosevelt's book, what is it, The Wilderness Man or something like that? He was exploring out here in the Dakotas and stuff in the 1880s, and it was nothing out here. But that's what makes, I think, overall coins really exciting. It's a very direct relic, and it's a very direct tie into history. Because as a country or a group of people, you usually put your greatest ideals, things that you admire the most, on your coinage. Our greatest people, our greatest themes, and they tend to survive over time. And ultimately, if I'm a tribe or a country or a group of people, I create my own coin and I give it to somebody else. If they accept that coin, they're accepting my country. They're accepting my people. So, like, because money's money, and so it's like, okay. So this Augustus Humbert, pioneer gold coin, made some dude with a nice office building over here in San Francisco in 1851. Do I trust that this coin is what it is? And if the answer is yes, that's a huge vote of confidence.
Yeah, that it's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
So, what do you think? Are we going to be a cashless society? This is something I get asked a lot. Do you think we'll have no more coins to collect from pocket change?
No, 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 no. I mean, I
People
think
always have coins.
yeah, people always have coins. There'll always be, like, stores of value, because you're always going to have, things do break down from time to time. And, I'm not I don't know I don't predict gold or silver prices or anything, but, I think it definitely makes sense to have some physical of your assets in a physical form, whether it be a little stash of cash underneath your bed or some gold here or there. There's always going to be that. History has taught us that it does make sense to do that. Now, necessarily converting everything into cryptocurrency or putting it all in one bank, putting it all in coins, I'd probably recommend being diversified. I think that's the key. But
Well,
there's always going to be coins.
to diversify, I'm going to buy one of each of the WitterBricks, the 375, the 1,000, and the
Oh,
5,000.
yeah,
That would be
yeah,
diversification.
yeah. They're kind of sold out though, but yeah,
But
yeah.
okay, so if Seth Chandler that was redesigning coinage, U.S. coinage that circulates, not like commemoratives, what type of stuff are you throwing on there? Like, do you have some ideas about what you would want to see or what you wouldn't want to see?
I think I think what's important is to celebrate is discoveries. Is irrespective of what political party you're in, what country you're from, I think mankind continues to impress with how hard we push things and discover, whether it's medicine, whether it's space exploration, government, whatever it may do. I think that's what we need to really, like, look back and celebrate. There's a lot of great people out there. Whoever wins the Nobel Peace Prize, I mean, it's amazing stories. I think humans are the most exciting thing ever. And I think if we could celebrate incredible achievements on our coinage, I think that's really the way to go. It tells stories. It tells stories of what we are capable as human beings. When I sit around my kids and you tell stories about, whether you like Elon Musk or not, I think it's pretty unbelievable what he's doing. The electric movement in cars. Wanted to have a colony on Mars. It's just it's crazy, but a lot of it's happening, and it's amazing what human beings can do. So I think, not calling for an Elon Musk quarter, but I think we need to celebrate what we as humans can accomplish.
Yeah, well, I'm ready to sign that petition. Give me an Elon Musk
Yeah,
quote.
sure. Yeah.
Well, I think about, I'm a big advocate for completely changing our coinage that
Sure.
circulates. Like, I find
Sure.
it to be, eh, and I'm not. But the hard part for me is I don't know exactly what I would put on it. But I'll
Mhm.
see some coins from other countries, and I'll look at it and say that looks nice. And I think
Yeah, yeah.
about our old coins, which were all allegorical. It wasn't
Mhm.
an actual person. It
Mhm.
just meant something.
Right.
Somewhere in my mind, I think I want something along those lines. I want something that's allegorical, but it can be modern,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
but attractive. And like, I'm over the dead presidents, we'll say. I know everyone thinks that's
Right.
crazy, but like, I'd like to see something different, for us.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I think also with the incredible minting techniques that exist today, I think the technology exists for us to make unbelievable coins. I think both you and I are having our Theodore Roosevelt moments. For your viewers out there that don't really understand this, Theodore Roosevelt was insanely instrumental in the design of our coinage right at the turn of into the 20th century, 1906, '07. Looking at our coins is like we've been making the same coins, gold coins, for 60 years. We got to mix it up. And he had studied a lot of the ancient Greek coins that is very, very high relieved. So he hired or he consulted with Augustus St. Gallons to create the new $20 gold coin and the new $10 gold coin, the St. Gallons and the $10 Indian. And the first thing you did was obviously make the relief a lot more bolder. You had to strike it 7 times. Unfortunately, they really couldn't circulate. They couldn't really. They really didn't stack very well. They didn't work very well in commercial enterprises. But as they lowered the relief, you still have an amazing, one of the most beautiful gold coins of all time. So maybe we're going in our little Theodore Roosevelt moment. They're like, hey, we need to fix our coins. Because I mean, I love FDR, amazing president, the only 4-term president around. But I mean, you look at the obverse of the Roosevelt dime; it's the same thing since 1946. So
Yeah, and
we could,
I think for
yeah.
me that's the thing. It's not so much that there's something unpatriotic about me. I think that it's more
Mhm.
like I just eventually feel like there's certain things that you change up. And partially that's because I know that there's been change in the past, right? So for someone who's not a coin collector, they don't realize the different things that we've had in the past.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but for me, I'm like, well, presidents are okay, but man, there's lots of, like you said, there's cool people in history that you can put on a
Mhm.
coin that's not a president. There's just a lot of
Sure.
people out there that could go on a coin if we're going to use humans. So,
Right, right. Agreed. I wouldn't label any form of wanting to change our coinage unpatriotic. And in fact, I think it's the opposite. I think it's been very patriotic by celebrating our leaders, but in different formats, in different ways, and new ideas. Because we need to mix things up. That's what gets people interesting. And there's different ways to celebrate, which we all love. These people that we love.
yeah, agreed, agreed. Well, what else is coming down in the WitterVerse? You can use that as if that website doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, the winter.
WitterVerse.
I should get that.
You
That's
already have 10
nice.
websites, so you might as well have one more.
No, 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 no. Yeah, we're just we're one thing we're always really focused on is, and this may sound cheesy, but we've really seen focusing on doing the right thing pay off. We have a lot of commercials, we do a lot of local advertising, but in the end, what's got us the most amount of business is by doing the right thing, treating people really well. So we're really, really focused on having people that come in our showroom and interact with us have an amazing experience, not just for the coin business, but for any business. We try to be insanely warm and friendly and accommodating. A lot of our little advertising is geared toward, none of it says come to our beautiful showroom and come buy coins, gold and silver. No, it's about, we'd like to buy your coins, compliment your appraisals. We'll sit down with you, explain to you what you have. So in the end, it's a free complimentary service that we have. So, we're really focused on, we've upgraded our software to, it's yeah, we ask clients a few questions. How'd you about this? What kind of coin? Just basic questions that we could better serve them down the road. But that's kind of what we're trying to do, because we're running a business and it costs money to get people to come in here. When you advertise, you have employees. So we want, the best way that we could do well as a business is to really, really take care of our clients. So I think that's kind of a big push and a big movement we've had lately.
So,
But
so do you see AI as a help for that and the business side of things?
I guess. I mean, it can help us write descriptive on coins, but it still doesn't feel genuine. And I think
Yes.
you've experienced this yourselves. One of the challenging aspect of running a coin firm is that you hire a marketing person, they don't know the context of coins. Like, they'll literally create advertisements using AI, and they'll post up an artificially toned silver eagle as your coin. It's like, hey, wait a second, let's do a proof Morgan, and just the right proof Morgan with the right color. The coin context is very, very critical. So I think that makes using AI a little bit more challenging. But there's some areas, yeah, it's very effective.
We had a I was at a major national show,
Uh-huh.
and one of the ads had a fake coin in the ad.
Hmm.
And it was that I knew 100% what had happened,
Oh,
what
yeah.
you described.
The
They
seed
hired
dollar,
some
right?
company, and the company's just, like, pulling stuff from the internet, whatever images the internet provides.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's it's like, I don't know. I don't even know what
It's
to
embarrassing.
how to describe it anymore, but, anyway, I'm happy that there are people in the marketplace that have the passion and are willing to just share with other people, because there's just a lot of garbage out there. And people can have different personalities and different perspectives and how they do things, but at the end of the day, that ability to have people who care about the hobby and industry is what I think is most important in uniting, because there's a lot of garbage coming down the pipe from the AI perspective that
Sure.
I don't know exactly how to put our shields up against, other than to just keep talking out loud about what we see as people who've been in the industry for a while and the hobby for a long time, and be just, hey, this is how we see it, this is how we do it. You're gonna keep hearing
Mhm.
stuff here, you're gonna hear it here, but just
Yeah,
we're just gonna keep talking. You guys follow who
yeah,
you need to follow, but we're gonna keep
yeah.
talking.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people aren't dumb. They'll I think ultimately people understand they need to go to an expert, whether you need a doctor, whether you need a specialist on your body, whether you need a good painter for your house. You got to go to an expert. You got to hire a seasoned professional. I think with coins, that's just as important. And I think people will always seek out coin experts versus just Googling terms or having AI help them. I think it can complement them in their efforts, but ultimately you still need a passionate human being that understands their area of expertise really well.
Well, and that's a very good observation in general,
Hmm.
like using an expert versus searching searching the internet for like anything that's ailing you.
Hmm.
That's an instant recipe for bad advice and
Hmm.
dying,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And the same
Oh
thing's
yeah.
true with coins. You search
Yeah.
something on coins, and every day someone comes in the door, 10 people come in the door with that penny that the internet told them is worth $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. It's the
yeah,
tax. You know what it is? It's the tax on our business that we are very passionate about. We can't be 100% loving our business every single day. We've got to be like 99%. We have to deal with those phone calls, but in the end, it's like it's our duty. It's like we put ourselves out there. It's like, hey, we'll appraise your coins, even if you think it's 98 pennies worth $10,000. It's not, and we'll answer a few questions. Then we'll move along. We're there to help, but yeah. So unfortunately, like AI and a lot of websites will drive those questions to us to accommodate. You just can't deal with them all.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to get in touch with my congressman about some of that stuff and see if we can't make it a little better for the rest of us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. How's
Maybe.
things at your shop? How's things at your shop? How's things going?
Good. Well, I'll tell you, we miss having you stop in at the bid board, but
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I still
we're
tell
doing fine
stories.
though. It's we're staying real steady. Someone the other day commented that like this is their favorite place in Tucson to go to. I'm like, that's right. Thank you. But it's fun, we do the same thing that you do, which is just
Mhm,
friendly, we're nice, we're polite, we
mhm,
educate.
mhm.
And at the end of the day, you can't tell people, you got to tell them the truth, but you can do it in a nice way.
Yeah, I hear you. I've been to hundreds of shops. I'm addicted to coin shops. I love going to coin shops, and I'll tell you, yours is one of my favorites because it has soul, it has heart. And I think that every coin shop is very much a representative of the owner's personality. And so when you go into your shop, you're like, this is cool. This is old school. You have a great team there. Your stuff is amazingly well displayed. You got all like just behind you, like those pictures. I just remember staring at all this stuff everywhere in your showroom. You have a great
I
place.
like, so this is Gold Coin Ryan, but I like stuff like that's coin advertising related.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that's fun about coins is like you can go into history. Obviously, we got some presidents. See, I don't hate presidents,
Yeah.
but there's so many different things that you can get into. It's just insane. And the history just it makes it so rich. Like the
Uh-huh.
more you learn about history, the more allure the entire concept of coin collecting, paper money collecting, script, tokens,
Mm.
metals,
Right.
all that stuff just starts to add more and more flavor. So it's good stuff.
That's cool. What's your favorite thing about being a coin dealer?
Oh, so I'm kind of a people person.
Mhm.
Um, and so I like being at shows. I like meeting new people, getting them exposed to the market and to the
Mhm.
idea. And so my question to you about what is out there in the way, are we going to have coins still? The reason I ask that is just because I know I still use money, Federal
Mhm.
Reserve notes. I get change back, but I just know more and more people. It's like, hey, Zelle me, Venmo me, that they don't want it, and so this. Almost anyone who becomes a coin collector, it's because somebody put a coin in front of them,
Right.
and that's it. And so for me, it's just things have become a little bit more mission oriented in the way that like I want to make sure that not only am I serving this market of people that already understand coins, which is, a lot of the YouTube stuff, but also so like this weekend we're setting up a Tucson Comic Con, which is
Mhm.
like a big event for the city. It's very unrelated. I've had dozens of people say, "Why are you setting up there?" Like our regular customers like, "Why are you setting up at Tucson Comic Con? What's a Comic Con?" What is that? Well, it's the same thing that you're trying to do with WitterBrick in a way. It's like I'm going out to where there are different people who haven't
Mhm.
seen coins. You
Right.
have an area that's nothing but fandoms. So you got people that they're already geeking out on their own stuff, right? Whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they might not know that coin, coin shops exist, and we're going to be there. I'm going to be dressed up in different character outfits and going to be, having coins on display. We got a bunch of like Marvel and Star Wars stuff to show them that a lot of our clientele here might not like our old school games. But you know what? It's a gateway to get new people in. And then we'll have
Sure.
all just classic, Buffalo nickels and Mercury dimes. And we'll have little bags full of like nickel and dime world coins that we'll just give out. So it's like, to me, that's exciting and that's fun.
That's cool. Yeah, it's about people. And even though there's a lot of people with other hobbies there, I get very excited by people that are passionate about other hobbies. That's how I learned. I become a better collector by listening to what other people have to say. I don't care what you do. You collect like, I don't know, decorative plates, china for somewhere. Just okay. Tell me about how you find what's the rare one. How does that work? A lot of collectors. I love understanding other hobbies because it helps kind of create ideas. It helps kind of make the experience better for collectors.
Yeah. No, agreed 100%. I see, I love talking to guys that collect things that I don't collect. And man, I'll spend an entire afternoon asking them questions. Like,
That's
how
cool.
do you know are there guidebooks? Like, it's a whole new journey all over again for me into a different realm. And whether I actually engage in that as a collectible or not, doesn't matter, but eventually there's certain things that, you buy one of, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like, oh, I don't really collect this, but I have one.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, you got your little drawer with all kinds of little miscellaneous stuff. And I think you and I mean, I think a lot of your viewers may not realize this, but there's a lot of coin collectors out there. There's a lot more than what we all think. I've always said, like, I have 3 kids, and at one particular period of time, all 3 of my kids were going to different local schools because the age spread. And then it inevitably comes up, hey, what do you do for a living? I got a small coin shop over in San Francisco. More than half of everyone, their face lights up and they tell some story. They collect as a kid. Their granddad was a collector. They found a coin. And so I think like at the Tucson Comic Con, you're going to find hundreds of people there that are like 1,000 people that are in a comic. You're definitely going to find 5 or 10% of those people have had some exposure to coins.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. Yeah. So I'm excited to, it's this the whole thing about the YouTube channel. We're sharing the hobby with people, whatever level they're at, and people your stuff at a different level, and that's okay. Not everyone can do the high end, but man, it doesn't matter because you all start somewhere.
Yeah.
Your first coin wasn't that Pikes Peak.
No. Yeah. It was a 1943 steel cent BU. I paid $1 for it. I still have it.
Okay, I like that story. Still have it. That's the stuff you get the pedigree on, by the way.
Yeah. I've actually had that displayed at coin shows before.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. It's there's something about the old stuff that you hold on to just for sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
Cool. That's lots of fun indeed, indeed. Well, I want to say I thank you very much for your time. I know you're really busy.
Thanks, always have fun to talk coins.
Always. When is your next show, by the way? Just curious if you got anything scheduled at all.
Don't think there's anything short term. I think the next show is probably going to be the fun show in Florida, first week of January. Yeah, it's a long leave. Yeah, they just got a lot of stuff going on around here.
No, I understand that. I've got to get out to fun. I haven't been there yet. Yeah, so that's on my radar eventually, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it this year. Well, it's that kid thing still too. You're still dealing with raising kids and stuff, so it's all fun. Yeah. It's all fun. All right. Beautiful, my friend.
Thanks for having me on. Good chatting with you, Ben. Okay. Bye-bye now. See ya.